Good morning and welcome to Badge and Business, Water Talks. I'm here this morning with Michelle Bieri, and she is our new clerk treasurer. New is like 9 months, 8 months. What? How long have you been on?
Well, I've worked here almost a year and a half.
Right, but in the
I'm clerk
actual
treasurer officially January 2nd
okay,
when Randy retired.
all right. So she's got 2 months in the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what the reason we're doing this today is because we are getting ready to send out the water bills, and we had a staff meeting. We have a staff meeting every Wednesday morning, and one of the things we spent a lot of time on this staff meeting was talking about some issues that we're probably going to see with this round of water bills, and so. Talk to me a little bit about the water rates changed, right?
Yep. They changed.
And so this is the second round of bills under the new rates.
Correct.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit what that process is, what happened the first time, and how that all worked out.
Yeah, right. So the last bills that went out at the end of December, because of the weather that we had, the guys were plowing and whatnot. A lot of the meters were buried. We had to estimate. So what that did was it estimated based on that property's usage from October through December of the prior year in 24. So it was kind of the same thing. The only thing is starting October 1st, people had to start paying for the usage for every gallon they use. Before that, the first 10,000 gallons were free. So that was a big thing that increased it. This time, the guys have been able to get most of the reads, so that will have a change according to the bill too.
Okay.
The ready to serve fee also increased as effective October 1st, so it'll showed up December and this time. The water ready to serve fee is $144.27. Sewers $174.03. Garbage is added on. Every property has a garbage fee, $45 every quarter. That comes to $363.30. That's the basic ready to serve fee. Water
Okay.
and sewer is added on top of that. The water, we bill per 1,000 gallons. So for 1,000 gallons of water, 1,000 gallons is $3.50 for water. The sewer goes on the water reading. That is $4.20 per 1,000 gallons. So
Okay.
we add them together, 350, 420, 770 for every 1,000 gallons of water goes in and out.
Okay.
So you have the
And
base
that's how
rate.
you calculate the total amount.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you use 1,000 gallons, you have the base rate, you have water, sewer, and the garbage, $363.30. You use 1,000 gallons, you add on $7.70. Use 2,000 gallons, you add on $15.40,
Okay.
and go on from there.
Okay. So one of the things we talked about at the meeting we had on Wednesday was we're getting some questions and people are calling up because they can't understand the jump in their water bill. And typically these jumps quarterly, I mean, we're talking in the range of what, 50, $60 a quarter, maybe difference.
Well, with the new rates, the ready to serve fee went up $59.30 for the quarter.
Okay.
Base before it was $3.40 and up to 10,000 gallons free. Now it's $363.30 plus the usage.
Okay. All right. So what's really causing people to question is they're used to getting 10,000 gallons for free and they're not getting that anymore.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have the increase in the ready to serve plus the usage. They they say on average an individual uses 1 to 2,000 gallons of water per month. So you have if it's just you use maybe 1 or 2,000 per month per quarter, maybe 3,000 gallons per quarter.
Okay.
So
All right. And what's that equate to? $2,000-3,000 a quarter, or 2,000-3,000 gallons a quarter.
well, for the if you use 2,000 gallons, the amount would be $378.70. The ready to serve water, sewer, garbage plus the usage.
Okay, but I'm talking just the water bill, just the water part of it.
Just the water part.
For, yeah, just for 2,000 gallons of water, what's it going to be?
$15.40
Okay.
added
All
on.
right. Okay. So part of the problem that we're seeing with the DPW folks is, and a couple things. First off, when they did the meter reads this spring, they
Mhm.
used the department's golf cart. So first call we got was, "Oh my God, there's strange people in high low vests, and they're out behind my house and they're searching my house. What heinous crime has happened?" That was not going on. So we dealt with that. The good side was they were able to do most of the water reads in like 3 days. I
Yeah.
mean, they ripped them off. So
Mhm.
that was very, very quick.
Yeah.
The other issue that we're running into is though, when the guys are out doing the water reads, um, they're having to find these meters and they're having to scan them, take the reads down. In most cases, they're using a sensor device and they just go up and collect the information. But when everybody was getting 10,000 gallons of water for free, the meters were important, okay, but they weren't critical. Now that everybody's getting 1,000 gallons for free and they're getting charged for everything over 1,000 gallons, meters are a little bit more important.
Right.
So consequently, some of these meters that we may have not read in the past, or maybe haven't been replaced or updated, or those kind of things,
Mhm.
we are now running into those, and the guys are out changing the meters around and getting new baseline readings.
Mhm.
So on occasion, not a lot of times, but on occasion, you will see numbers go for some reason go up or down, and that is causing some concern and confusion, right, Michelle?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
plus, we have a lot of new staff. Um, they might not have gotten a reading back October or in the summer. We had a lot with all the construction going on. There were a lot of new meters put in. And the meters are built to slow down over time. So even if they were getting a read before, might have not been real accurate because they slow down and then they stop. But someone who is using a little amount, all of a sudden using more, it might be because the new meter is in and it's actually calculating the right amount. So
Right.
that's
Right.
kind of concerning. We
Yeah.
have had we had quite a few that were a little higher. The guys went out and double checked numbers for us. They've been really good about double checking things, make sure everything's right. Yeah.
Well, and it should. It's in truth be told, the guys that we have at the DPW, we've got two guys that have now been there. One fellow's been there for about a year. I think the other two guys are relatively new. And when I
Mhm.
say new, I mean one's less than 6 months, and the other one is starting next week. So pretty new. And so they are learning right now how to do those meters, where they are, because they're not all in the same spot, and some are buried under snow, and there's all kinds of complications.
Yeah.
So the other thing that we wanted to talk about today was when folks have a dispute or they have a question about their bill, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you and talk about that?
They can give us a call. They can email us. They can come in the office. Once the bills are mailed out, it is easier on us if you send us an email. It'll give us a chance to pull it up, look at it, and especially if people call me messages after hours over the weekend. And when we get in on Monday morning and we have 20, 30 messages and new people are calling, so it's hard to return all the phone calls that were left over the weekend while other people are calling. So if they could send us an email, we can check on it and give a call back or respond by email, or come in the office and we can talk to them too.
Yeah, and we'll put the emails for everybody in the comments section in this recording. But you can also visit pentwatervillage.org, which is our main email, our main webpage, and it has everybody's email on there and how to contact folks. You do need to remember that we are a small municipality. So if we can control and track things through the email system, it would be a lot easier for Michelle and her folks to, get back to you and keep track of, the back and forth on particular things, because that becomes more critical as we go. I would also tell you that if Michelle is not in the office, another person to talk to about this would be our village manager, Toby Vaness. Now, Toby, we're gonna do a meet the manager segment here. It's kind of on the books to do, but always has an open door, always willing to talk to you, always can explain things. He's a little Dutch, so you got to get used to that. But we deal with it. We deal with it, right?
He's a lot Dutch.
He's a lot Dutch. So we're kind of going through a acclimation to the Dutch gene pool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good though. It's all good.
Yeah.
Anything else that we need to tell the guys about?
Just one thing I thought of, Tony had mentioned, and I don't know if it was our last staff meeting or the one before that, about people flushing flushable wipes.
Oh my God, yes.
And how that's clogging up the sewer system, even though they're labeled as flushable, they aren't. And
yeah,
if they
so just by way of explanation for you guys, when they a lot of times the lift stations will go down. We've got lift stations at the end of Russell, we've got lift stations over on Lake Street, and we've got one over near the park there. And sometimes those lift stations will go down, the pumps stop working, guys will tear into those pumps, and it's a treasure trove of what they'll find. But a lot of times it is shirts, pants, garments. I think they pulled out a 2x4 in one of them. Cutlery. Yeah. So we have just spent a lot of money of your money replacing these pumps. And so please be aware of what you're flushing down, because it does have an effect. I mean, the guys have told, and if you ever want to see him, our DPW supervisor, Tony Keys, has pictures on his phone. Some people have kids, some people have dogs. Tony has pumps. And he has pictures of some of these like 4-foot lengths of wadded up clothes and stuff that has gotten into the pumps. And they literally have to tear the pumps apart to get that off. Mm-hmm. So for those of you that come and visit in the summertime, for those of you that are operating short-term rentals or just people that live here, please be aware of that, and please try not to put that stuff into the system, because it causes us a lot of problems.
Yes.
So
definitely.
And you should probably introduce the other new face that you have there. We won't introduce her face, but Jody is your new deputy, right?
Yep. She started at the beginning of January.
Yeah.
She's a resident here of the village. She's doing a great job.
Very nice. Yeah. And then the other front person you have there is Nikki. And between the three of them, they do an excellent job. So if you have any questions, if you eventually get through our phone system and talk to a real person, You're gonna be talking to one of those three folks, and they'll take care of you, whatever you need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, well, that's our report on water bills. So,
Great.
until next time, this is Lod signing off, and we look forward to seeing you back for our next episode.